Hello and welcome to the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast, the show you need to listen to for your monthly insight into the many wide worlds of geek culture. I'm your host, Carroll, and I'm joined by two regulars on the show. I know. They've been on here a lot. They were here last week for fuck. I'm so good at these guys. First, we have the writer of Comic Critical, Jré Best.
Hey. I know I'm not supposed to be a regular here.
No,
but...
it's he's slowly taking over the show, just like I took over from Ronny. He's gonna kill me one of these days.
Well, I'm glad we have another fresh face on the show.
Oh, please welcome Scott Heemstra.
I'm also not supposed to be a regular, and I'm also not a fresh face.
Yeah,
technically,
technically, you don't even have producer credit, but you've been working on the show. I should probably fix that. I'll do so. I'll see if I could. I'll call the high ups at corporate.
I just gave it.
Corporate.
I just gave him it right now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Central now.
Oh, damn! You're gonna hold off on giving me that sweet GBG corporate.
I think I was still like a guest, but I didn't mean to switch channels there.
But it's fine.
It's so epic. You don't even know. Okay, so
I think I was a guest by Gaslight before.
Oh yeah.
But that's not really accurate anymore, I think.
Yeah, well...
At this point, it's not welcome our guest, Scott Heemstra. It's Scott's here again.
It's a new episode of GBG.
Guess who's on? Jré and Scott.
Yeah.
And me, I guess. Okay, so this was actually a much better month for trailers since the last one that we did.
Oh yeah, there was
by a
nothing
lot
last month.
There was barely anything last month. There was Detective Pikachu and a couple other things, but so the big fiery spicy boy in the room is Hellboy. The Hellboy reboot.
Very epic.
Detective Pikachu is epic, but Hellboy got a trailer. The first trailer for this new iteration reboot thing of Hellboy. So. What do you think?
Looks cool. I don't know much about Hellboy, but I really like David Harbour in Stranger Things. He was my favorite character in that show. So this looks cool.
I'm a little more apprehensive. I don't know. Oh, I'm not like a Hellboy fan. Being a comic book fan, I'm familiar with him and his creator and everything, and it's just kind of a world that I've never gotten too interested in. I think I'm more interested in Hellboy's supporting cast than himself. Mm-hmm. I'm looking. I like that David Harbour's getting a big franchise because I think he deserves it.
No, and he's been in a lot of other things. I like him.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of sad that we never got the conclusion to Ron Perlman movies. I mean, I haven't even seen those, but
right.
I think I did see there was an anime Hellboy movie a while back that I think I saw. I remember it. I definitely remember it if I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Does that ring in any bells?
Yeah, it does. Hellboy's been lingering around.
That there would be one, even though I don't know anything about Hellboy.
Yeah, me either. But I mean, Jré, you are, I guess you have comic things, so you must be an expert on everything comic book-wise ever, right?
Yeah, yes.
Exactly. So, what can you tell us about Hellboy?
He's a guy who was made by a scientist, I believe, during World War II, or either he was created by a scientist or he was summoned by cultists or something, and he has those horns and they're cut off. I know eventually in the comics he ends up becoming God and killing the world or something. I don't know.
Epic.
Don't.
Yeah. So I guess he has a sweet gun that he flips a lot.
He does have a sweet gun. He's in Injustice too. I forgot about that.
That's cool. Yeah, he is.
I do remember him being in Injustice 2.
We got him over. They were gonna put in Spawn, but we got Hellboy instead.
Character?
No, he is He's in not IDW. Wait, yes, IDW, I believe.
Yeah,
he's still in Injustice.
Yeah, he's a guest character. He's like the Ninja Turtles.
That's interesting.
IDW had a couple crossovers in Injustice.
Yeah.
Should have put Transformers in that game. Just saying.
But like, it'd just be a foot.
It'd be awesome. Optimus Prime steps on Superman and he's dead.
Kryptonite axe thing.
Is that a thing? Could he do that?
I mean, probably not.
Okay.
But if I was writing a story called Optimus Prime versus
No.
Superman,
It's the crossover.
Optimus Prime would step on Superman and Superman die.
No, see, you know who's really gonna be in it? Who's really gonna be in Injustice 2 from the Transformers universe? John Cena.
Oh!
I love that describing John Cena as being a part of the Transformers universe.
He is. John Cena's in that movie in Bumblebee.
Yeah, he's also a part of the Fred universe. So
and the Scooby-Doo universe.
And the he's in like the
WWE
Jetsons and
universe.
Flintstones expanded universe.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not in that
He's
one.
not part of the. He's not a part of the WWE universe because we're the WWE universe. Branding, remember?
Oh
You got to stay on brand, my guy. But yeah, Hellboy looks good.
I'm not opposed to watching it.
Yeah.
I like that there was Monster Energy drinks in the trailer.
Yeah. that's most of like the only thing I remember, and I think they made a fisting joke, which is like, okay.
Epic.
Yeah. Speaking of epic, they're doing another Men in Black movie, but not awful this time. I think it looks better than the last one. Because I like how they're like. Do you think it's going to be a hard reboot or a soft reboot, where it's just like the same universe but different characters are the focal point?
I was thinking
It seems like it could be either. It doesn't seem like it matters too much.
Maybe I think like the fact that it's in like a different on a different continent, it means that they don't need to commit yet.
Yeah.
If they want to like
just kind of leave it ambiguous.
If they want to bring in Tommy Lee Jones or have Will Smith show up again, they can. But that's not like the focal point of this one, it seems.
Right, and it wouldn't be like
Michael Jackson.
Like they don't need, since it's not even in New York. They don't even deal with it. If this is like successful, and then they do MIB International New York,
yeah,
and we see like Will Smith, and it's like, oh, cool.
Well, because after this they're going to go MIB Intergalactic.
Oh, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Should we describe what this is?
Yeah. So it looks like, so at first when I saw this, it was like, okay, so the new pairing is the young guy, is what's his face? Thor. Chris Hemsworth.
Chris 2.
Chris 2. No, he's not Chris 2. He's Chris.
No, he's Chris 2. Wait, no, I guess he's the first Chris.
No, but is Chris Pine the first Chris?
No,
Chris Pratt is Chris 4.
No, I'm thinking like
the first Chris is Chris.
Because in the Great Hollywood Chris-Off, there's four main contenders.
Right.
Evans, Pine, Pratt.
I just kind of forgot that Ryan Seacrest wasn't a Chris. I don't know why.
Ryan Seacrest.
He looks like a Chris. Doesn't
Ryan
he?
Seacrest.
He has a Chris. Mostly because he has like a Hollywood look to him, and Chris is a Hollywood name.
I feel like it very much is, yeah. No, I can see Ryan Seacrest being like, oh, please be the
honorary Chris.
I have to check what his middle name is. If it's Chris, I'm gonna die. Let's see.
Well,
Ryan.
Quick break.
Chris. Damn it!
This is important.
It's John.
He just has Chris energy.
John?
John Seacrest.
That's such a name. I think Hemsworth is Chris 2 for me. I think Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans is my favorite.
What about Chris Evans? I feel like Hemsworth is the most. This is so dumb. Anyway, Men in Black. Men in Black. So that's like I've heard like okay, Chris Hemsworth's the young guy and Liam Neeson is the older guy. That seems like a fun dynamic. But then they decided to do, hey, what if we did Thor and Valkyrie, but they're wearing suits and killing monsters because they have brought in Tessa Thompson,
who's having an awesome year.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's got a leading role last year.
Sorry to bother you, and both Creed movies.
Both Creed movies, and now she's big in Men in Black. Is like one of the leads.
Yeah,
I like
probably that.
Oh, and Annihilation. I forgot about Annihilation came out this year.
Which one? Oh, you mean the Natalie Portman movie?
Yeah,
she was in that.
Yes, she's having a fantastic year. Yeah,
that seems odd. But yeah, no, good for her. She's very talented.
And I think this would be a good movie. It looks like they're dying. These two clearly seem to have built up a rapport and dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, they've already started a blockbuster film together. So
Right.
They've already got rapport and chemistry. So transitioning that into another franchise seems like a safe bet. And if they do cool Liam Neeson shit, that's cool too.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be great. Anything else you all want to talk about Men in Black?
I like that it's in England.
Yeah.
That's a cool new place because I always associate Men in Black so much with New York because that's. Yeah. But I like this.
They could do some Kingsman-y shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and they both don't have to cover up their accent.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was I was half expecting Hemsworth to do the American accent, but I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
I like it when he speaks normal.
I forget
very
these
much
people
enjoy his voice and his particular
He's
accent.
got a very nice voice.
Yeah. It's especially suiting to him as Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a very Thor voice, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of aliens, Captain Marvel got a trailer.
Speaking of Namekians.
No.
What?
I guess.
The Namekians from Dragon Ball Evolution.
Ah!
They reused them.
God damn it, fucking Skrulls. No, they look way better than that. They look way better than James Marsden did in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think it's funny that it's the exact same thing.
It's the same shade of green.
Well, no, it's not. It's a lighter shade of green, but the costume
isn't. It looks very close.
Yeah.
And I just think that's funny.
Yeah. So a lot of vague hints towards Captain Marvel's past, Carol Danvers' past, and it seems like she doesn't know the full extent of where she comes from, which is kind of cool. It would also kind of explain where she's, maybe why she hasn't been on Earth in a while. At least I know it's set in the past, but at least up to a point.
Right.
And yeah, it looks to be pretty good. I like. So there was a spoiler that came out by way of merchandising. If you don't want, should I talk about this? I'll give you a warning. If you don't want to know,
but I don't really care.
Okay, if you don't want to know about the spoiler for Captain Marvel that I'm about to tell you, skip this segment and come back.
We'll put a timestamp in the description.
No, that's so much work.
It's really not.
Okay, fine. I'll do something. Fuck.
You can't put an annotation.
Fuck you too. What?
It's
so garbage.
So no shit talking YouTube on this show. We're not gonna be those guys. I've seen too much of that shit on YouTube already.
Fuck Dailymotion.
No, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of people on YouTube shit talking the platform that they make their living from that that's never being us. Ever.
Okay. Then fuck Dailymotion though, right?
Yeah.
Fuck Dailymotion. Exactly.
YouTube's
I completely lost my train of thought because of that. Good job.
I'm sorry.
Is it the cat thing? Carol, you were talking about the
No, not the cat thing. It's about the identity of Captain of Jude Law's character. Because everyone thought it was Marvel. But it's not. It's Jan Rog.
God, fuck Captain Marvel villain names.
Yeah, Yon-Rogg, who's like Captain Marvel's sort of the old Captain Marvel's kind of nemesis, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Like he's like a Kree dude, right?
Yes.
He's like a Kree
Yes.
dude or a Skrull dude.
He is a Kree. Yeah. There because with most stories about the Kree and the Skrull, you realize that really it's the Krees the bigger dicks in the situation almost every single time.
Like what's the name of her team in this? Star Force?
Something like that.
Star whatever. They're all villains.
Yeah.
Like Star Fox.
Yeah, they're all like Captain Marvel villains.
And Korath the Pursuer, which is nice to see. I like seeing Jimon Hanzo in things, and like gets very much to do in Guardians 1. So seeing him show back up, even if it's kind of like the same one-note character, I like seeing him. He's good.
Yeah.
He was the voice of Black Panther in the animated movie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all right. I saw a lot of negativity around both Captain Marvel trailers, and I don't really get it. And I mean, like, I kind of get it because these trailers aren't like they're not really giving us like the juice, you know.
The juice.
They're not. They're clearly like hiding things, and which Marvel trailers always do. But this one's a lot more blatant. Like, hey, we're not showing you the cool shit.
Yeah.
I'll be real. This looks like a Marvel movie that's really different from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that, how much like mystery around like the main character for an introductory movie too.
Yep.
Like most Marvel trailers kind of tell you the story of the movie, like within them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with these like character debut movies. But this it's clear it's just showing you cool scenes and characters interacting. Which you know, is like good. I like that. I'm looking forward to Samuel L. Jackson a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
he looks good.
Because it's interesting to see him being so jaded, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe they managed to go back in time and get younger Samuel L. Jackson to reprise his role.
Yeah, I can't believe they got Samuel L. Jackson before or he lost his eye.
Yeah.
Famous one-eyed actor Samuel L. Jackson.
And it
just CGI'd another eye under him.
Yeah. Also, not a lot of laughs in this trailer. This doesn't look like it's going to try and be a funny movie. Like there's
that's kind of a shame, though. I think.
Is it?
Okay. I think it's good that they're playing it straight. Because this is the character that you kind of have. That's kind of good to do that with. But at the same time, I feel like given them they're going cosmic with the Marvel universe and the main cosmic viewpoint, the main viewpoint into the cosmic side of the Marvel universe before has been Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's very comedic. I'm excited to see them not have a look at that side of the Marvel universe through a different lens. But also I hope they don't take themselves too seriously in a movie like this. That sort of kind of has to be silly in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah,
because the concept is so wild.
Yeah, I do appreciate because there was a while back where especially like around like Doctor Strange era time, where it was like everything was a joke, and it was getting real like tiring. So I'm glad to see like some more like not outwardly comedic franchises like, and there's still like funny stuff like Nick Fury being like a cat guy was really funny, and just like I think the image of Captain Marvel punching their grandmother in the face.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it great?
good.
Yeah, you know what I'm also sort of looking forward to?
What?
Young Coulson.
Because
we got flashes of that in Agents of Shield. Like, there was they did a flashback of him and Agent May, who's played by Ming-Na Wen in the show, and them sort of when they were younger missions together. And I really hope she's in the movie in a cameo at least, because that would be such good fan service to like people who really know their shit, and the timing lines up. So they won't. I don't think they will. But seeing Ming-Na Wen show up in this would be sweet.
I hope there is like allusions to how Shield was started corrupt. I would really like to see kind of like some like hints and teases towards that,
like the hidden Hydra shit.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see like Shield agents, and then you see and like maybe one in the background, and then you see them do like a weird salute, and you're like, huh? Why are the extras being weird? And then you think about it, and you're like, wait, yeah, that's some Hydra shit.
Maybe. Okay, so I feel like if this is the time, because like this, they've got Shield involved, and they've got space stuff. Maybe this is where they start to sort of say, okay, by the way, Sword's a thing, to sort of. Maybe that's what Captain Marvel has been tied up in, and that could just be sort of her route back is some Sword shenanigans. Which, in case you don't know, Sword is like the cosmic extension of Shield that deals with space stuff.
Yeah.
And that would sort of tie into like an old about, because if you go back and watch Age of Ultron, during the flashback scene where Tony is sort of looks forward into the future to see like all of his friends dead, and there's like the "you could have saved us, Tony" thing from the dying Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
If you look around, there are all of these like guys in like this space armor who are just like laying around, and everyone thinks, oh, that must be like Sword because it looks kind of cool. And like obviously they didn't have all the dead Wakandans in mind yet.
Yeah.
But all like the dead Wakandan soldiers and like Shield agents. But just food for thought.
Right. Oh, what do you guys think about like how the costume looks with the helmet?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely adore it.
Looks good.
I like it.
I like that they're keeping. I thought they wouldn't for a bit, and when she has her like her full costume, but I like that they're doing it. That she has like the mohawk and everything. It's great.
I really didn't think that they were going to do that because it's like it's sort of a trope that male superheroes got to can hide their face, but if you're gonna put a woman on a thing, you gotta show the face, right?
Yeah.
Just sell the things, but like they're not afraid to be like, no, she's a fucking superhero.
She's like one of the few superheroes with like a mask in the MCU. No, I'm talking about superheroes in the MCU.
Oh no, so many of them: Iron Man, Ant-Man, Black Panther.
That's it.
Captain America has that helmet thing. He doesn't wear it all the time, but
doesn't wear it like most of the time.
He has it. It's a thing. It's there. Who else has a weird helmet?
Who has a helmet? Thor had a helmet.
I guess he did.
For a scene. Oh, I guess he had in Ragnarok
for two scenes. Yeah, for 2 scenes. I like the one in Ragnarok way better than the.
Oh yeah.
Star-Lord also has like a mask.
Oh yeah, fuck Star-Lord, yeah.
But he wears that.
He doesn't like wear it a lot either, but he has it.
It's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess this is as good as time as any to talk. Since we're just like going on Avengers tangent to talk about Avengers Endgame.
Because
that's the name.
We have that title now.
Yeah, the title, Avengers Endgame, which is sort of
I keep like calling it Avengers 4 still.
Just because we have been for so long.
Because it was because it was. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
Actually, because I mean it makes sense because remember at the end, in Infinity War, right before Doctor Strange, like it was like not right before Doctor Strange fades away. It's right after Strange gives Thanos the Time Stone, and Tony goes like, "Why would you do that?" He says, "We're in the end game now."
Yeah. We're in Avengers 4 now, Tony.
Yeah, we're in Avengers 4 Endgame.
We really were the
We're
Avengers
in Marvel
4
Studio.
Endgame
We're in the Marvel
whole
Studios
time.
presents Avengers 4. Avengers 4 Endgame. Yep.
We some kind of Infinity Squad.
We some kind of Endgame squad.
So this movie looks fucking like sad.
Yeah.
Like way more like I wasn't sure like what to expect from this because there's so many ways you can follow up like Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw the
ants
trailer,
an ant drumming away his little heart.
Yeah, that's how you follow up. There's when I first saw the trailer and I was like, and it's just Tony like alone on this ship, like slowly dying, like writing a message that he's
probably not alone. I think Nebula's probably with him.
Maybe. It didn't.
Maybe. It seems kind of weird that would. I kind of I assumed maybe Nebula just kind of fucked off, and was just like, yeah, I don't fucking care about you, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, well, I mean, like, come on, she want like.
She wants to kill Thanos, but like
she's also kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's not like, but she's like a redeemed bitch.
Like a little, but I'm not sure.
A little bit, yeah.
But I don't think she would care about Tony Stark and want to help him.
She might like not like go out of her way to like.
But I mean, I think she doesn't have a way off the fucking planet either.
Like, yeah,
all the Guardians are dead.
Which, by the way, wouldn't their ship be on the planet?
Whose?
The Guardians.
Maybe.
Like, we don't really see them get to Titan, but that was one of the things. Wait,
I mean,
Tony's in their ship.
Yeah, Tony's in the Milano, I think.
So maybe Nebula's there.
It seems weird to me looking at that and thinking like, yeah, but Nebula's like booing somewhere in there too. I don't know. It is a very interesting pair of characters to just be stuck together. It's very like not like a couple of characters I would like think of.
Yeah.
Like do something with these two characters in particular.
I feel like it would just come off weird if like during that scene you just know that Nebula's like off being like Tony's recording his vlogs.
Yeah, exactly.
His
sort of
vlog.
like away from like the atmosphere of it because I sort of get a vibe of like man just kind of like stuck alone in space.
Yeah, Life of Pi, but the galaxy.
Kind of like,
but I mean, he did build an Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps. He can build a space suit out of a ship, right?
Maybe.
I mean, like that.
Maybe if he had like an old Jewish guy to like die and like.
Oh yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Nebula, put on a fake Jew fro. You got this.
I hate that image.
I mean,
Nebula with a Jew fro. Come on.
So she's got plenty of room for a wig.
Exactly. She'll have like the beard and the hat.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe just like a yarmulke.
Yeah, give her one of those Jewish things that they wear.
Those Jewish things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
I know. If you can tell, I know nothing about the Jewish faith.
Me neither.
Okay, me neither.
But also, just like how everything feels with the people at home on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Earth. All the original Avengers plus Rocket.
Yeah.
It just gave me. It's such a. I'm really interested where this movie's going to start.
Yeah, well, there's two key things in this trailer that I think stood out to me. The first one that I want to talk about is Thanos' new Scarecrow.
Yeah.
In the trailer, it shows Thanos has hung up his armor, basically implying that he's going to doing the Farmer Thanos.
He is Farmer Thanos.
Thanos Farmer.
Well,
Thanos
back
Farmer.
in my day, I decided I wanted to rid the universe of half of its life forms. So I did. Yuck.
No.
I'm white, I can do it.
Country Thanos make do.
Please.
I'm white, I can do it.
Redneck Thanos, please. No. So
the second thing was,
if you really look into if you really look at the trailer when it shows Bruce Banner the people that are marked missing, it actually it shows people that we knew were dead, like
Black Panther.
Well, I don't think it shows Black Panther. What it shows is it shows
Black Panther's missing.
Well, it shows Spider-Man, but then what shows missing is actually Shuri.
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't in Infinity War. They didn't show her die, and I think her work on Vision is going to take some sort of point. Because remember, that was a whole big, or at least it'll have some play into the next movie. Because that whole thing with her working on a way to stop to decouple the stone from Vision's head was never resolved.
Yeah.
We never saw what happened to her. And so it's there's some interesting avenues yet to.
I hope she takes the form of Black Panther too.
If she's alive, she has to.
Yeah,
I'm sure Angela Bassett's dead, right?
Maybe, yeah, probably.
And
there's also I just remembered Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
Right.
Yeah, he's taking up the new role. He's becoming Ronin.
He's got a dope sword.
And Black Widow is in what I think it looks like the ending of Doctor Strange. I think was it Beijing? I'm not sure.
The Hong Kong Sanctum?
Yeah. Which I was wondering
I thought it looked like the Avengers head in New York. Like the New York
where Black Widow meets Ronin? Because that's
no, not that place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah, well, it looked like it looked like she was in that Hong Kong area.
Did they show Ronan the Accuser in the Captain Marvel trailer? Because he's gonna be in the movie, right?
Wait, I thought
I must have missed him.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
I need to watch the trailer a bit more.
No, I don't think they did. We're talking about Ronin, not Ronan.
Yeah, I know. It just reminded me.
Fuck Marvel.
I was like, oh yeah.
I was wondering if the Hong Kong Sanctum would come into play. Like maybe Hawkeye knows about that somehow, and went there.
To chat it up with Wong, the guy that did nothing.
Yeah, maybe seeking help. Maybe I don't know. Oh, I just think it's a very interesting place for I think both these people to be, and it implies that kind of like Black Widow's either separated from the Avengers in some way because she's not in spy garb.
Mm-hmm.
She's not
still blonde.
She's still blonde. She's just kind of
She makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, she didn't want to die again, man.
I would but that's not even her natural haircut.
Is it not? She's
not, no, she's a blonde, but she isn't platinum blonde. Like that, her hair isn't that.
Did she dye her hair a different shade of blonde? That's that's kind of head ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks like dyed.
She's a darker, a little browner blonde. I personally prefer the red hair for Black Widow.
Oh yeah.
Black.
I know everyone.
Her name is
anything
Scarlet.
about. Yeah.
So
everyone, anybody who knows anything about hair always disagrees with me, but I'm like, I am a male.
Yeah.
I can tell these things.
Give me what I want, bunga bunga.
Bunga bunga. Honestly.
Yeah, this trailer doesn't this is also a Marvel trailer. It doesn't tell you too much, mm-hmm. but tells you just enough to get everyone thinking about it. But there's very little to this trailer. It's maybe 7 shots.
Yeah, not a lot. And I guess it's just sort of like the big reveal was the name.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of Hawkeye, but that's not even that like.
And Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
I'm down to talk about Ant-Man anytime. Let's do this.
Okay. So, personal theory. Remember how he says, "Is this an old recording?"
Mm-hmm.
I think it is an old recording.
Like they're seeing something like when Captain America says check the door and then they do, he's like,
yeah, he's not there because he's because time travel shenanigans.
Yeah, and we do know time travel is going to come into play in this some way.
Yeah, unless they're epically throwing us off, this is going to be a time travel thing.
That would be amazing. I'm so excited for Ant-Man to be a key figure in this Avengers.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna be Ant-Manning all over the place.
Yeah, he's finally gonna do the thing we were all expecting him to do. He's gonna get small, go inside Thanos' ass, and just kind of chill there for a bit, you know?
I hope there's a scene where Ant-Man punches Thanos small and he feels it just a little, and then he looks in his hand and Ant-Man's there and he's
yeah.
And then Ant-Man peels out.
I would say that they could do the Ant-Man Hawkeye combo thing, but they already did that in Civil War.
Yeah, but you can do it again.
Yeah, you could do it again.
God.
Okay. Do you guys have any big sort of how it's gonna wrap up theories?
I don't really.
I have people I think who are not how it's gonna wrap up, more or people I think who are some characters I have some status quo things. I think Hawkeye is sticking around. Hawkeye and Black Widow are sticking around and going to stay as Avengers characters. I think they're going. I think they're killing Tony in this movie, and I think Steve's going to with the time travel stuff. Possibly, I think there's a chance they could bring Peggy Carter back, or I think Steve could start leading S.H.I.E.L.D., a new version of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay. Do you think he could possibly go back to his time, or have the option to go back to his time, but then have to?
I think he would refuse it. I would be very disappointed if he was yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe that'll be an option. He'll have the chance to go back to the 40s, and live out his fucking life. As the way he always wanted it, but I think he's gonna have to do the heroic thing and turn it down.
There's a comic.
Is the Peggy Carter show still going?
No.
No, that ended after 2 seasons.
Okay.
And she got it was a good show.
It'd be funny if they had a thing where he did go back and then they brought that show back as yeah, here I am.
That would be awesome. They would never do it.
No, oh my god, that would make no sense because of the way that show ended.
There's a comic, an old Captain America, not old. It's called Captain America: Man Out of Time, and there's a point. It's basically a modern retelling of Captain America, coming to the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a point where they're fighting Kang the Conqueror, and Kang, the whole thing is Cap's depressed. Because you would be.
Exactly.
And he's
everybody I knew is dead.
And there's a point where he's trying to get people who have time machines to let him go back, and they're no, what? That's not how this is gonna be. And there's a point where they're fighting King the Conqueror, and King's oh, you smell like time travel. I'm gonna send you back to your own time. Get out of here.
Whoa.
And then Captain America's just back.
Whoa.
And he's he's just living in the 1940s.
Is he happy?
He thinks he is for a bit, but then he's oh, okay, I'm gonna go watch a baseball game, and he goes and he sees the colored section, and then he tries to sit in it, and then all the he think he's like they're like making fun of him, and he's realized, and then like people he used to like know are being like racist, and he's like, I don't like I can't be in this like time. I'm a modern man now, and I can do good. And so he writes a note and like places it in a place where like Reed Richards will find it, and he comes and grabs them. And it's like really like interesting and like cool.
It sounds really interesting.
Maybe they could.
The most about Captain America was that whole sort of time thing.
I think it'd be interesting if they did something like that, where like there's like of him like in the 1940s, and he's like, I can't be here. I'm too modern. I can't be useful. Like, I guess I can like, yeah.
You know what would be really cool? If we know what would be super cool? If his way back is to go to like 40s pre-era Wakanda.
Oh,
because that would be cool. Look into that era, because they were so far ahead of us.
Cool.
God,
see what that looked like.
God, they're not.
That's just this. No, they're not. They're not. That's like ridiculous fantasy. But it would be fucking cool.
Be so cool, actually.
Yeah, because he would like know where it is.
Yeah.
You think we should?
Maybe we should do it. Yeah, we should. We've been talking about Avengers for a while.
Yeah.
That's just what Marvel does, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're moving. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a big story, but
yeah.
One
of the biggest.
So some people say that Avengers is the greatest crossover in history,
and it is.
It's really not, because
yeah,
they're all because now we have Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's my Xander Mobus impression.
Nice.
Okay, well, what would you rate it on the Mobus-O-meter?
Mobus-O-meter?
Yes.
I'd give it a solid like Persona 5.
Oh.
I mean, I think he's pretty good in Persona 5.
I'm just talking about like how I feel about it. If I were doing ratings.
Okay, that's kind of.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Carroll.
You're really not.
Yeah, you're right.
Jré's never sorry. So Smash Ultimate is out.
Yeah.
And everyone here has played it. It is quite fun.
Yeah. Might be it's man. Yeah, it's the best fighting game of the year.
What about Dragon Ball Fighters, bro?
Fuck that game.
Wait, that did come out this year.
Fuck that game.
Yeah, it did.
Why would you say fuck that game?
We can talk about that after the podcast.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons to fuck Dragon Ball Fighters.
I love that game so goddamn much. Makes my fucking dick hard, but
man, it's like hard to think of stuff to say about Ultimate.
Yeah, there's like so much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, let's start with this. Scott, what do you think of World of Light? Because he's the only one that owns it.
I need to play more of it. I actually haven't played it a whole lot of World of Light.
Okay, but what you have played, what did you think?
I'll say that one of the most interesting parts of the game to me is the spirit battles, which World of Light like mostly is. And I haven't done a lot of World of Light, but I've done a lot of like the spirit board, just doing the spirit battles. And I really like that. Just the whole like idea of like taking these like other some like even some like really kind of obscure characters, just miscellaneous characters from various franchises and whatnot, and just being like, okay, you'll fight like a character from that's in Smash that's sort of representing them, and like different like sort of like conditions, like a certain stage, and maybe like it'll be like big or like start with certain items. Or like how their AI will work in a certain way, and that's like really interesting to me, and because they can get really creative with those. Like there's one for Blastoise that is just giant Squirtle with like a gun.
That's pretty epic.
That's really funny to me.
It's weird from like the amount of like spirit stuff that I've like played. It's it's like surprising to me like how much effort has gone to it. Because when I remember when they announced it, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that'll be cool, but I don't think it'll like pick. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that like people would still be doing. And I'm still hearing about spirits. I'm not spirits.
Yeah,
it's like surprising amount of effort has gone into it.
Well, yeah, because it's like the follow up to Subspace. And it's like,
kinda,
in a way, well, it's the closest thing we've gotten to Subspace since Subspace.
It's definitely like a big part of like the single player portion of Ultimate, like because it's all most of the battles in World of Light are that as well. And I know a lot of people complain that it's like too hard because I haven't played a super far in World of Light, but I know some of the Spirit Board ones I've like tried are really hard. And people,
the Pauline one.
Yeah,
the Pauline one is.
I heard about that one.
That's the one that the internet is
about
really struggling with.
Like, oh, this was really fucking hard, and it just kind of interesting because usually people don't really talk. I think people generally, when people talk about like AIs and fighting games, people aren't usually like, "Man, that's like hard."
Yeah,
because it's sort of usually there just to like practice, kind of. But Smash, I think they put a lot into it for the like single player mode because they wanted people to be able to play on its own and not just use AI for like practice, but also like get like some genuine difficulty out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the spirit of Mr. Sandman. That's Donkey Kong, which is really fucked up.
Yeah. That's not okay.
But
I'm excited to see how they update it. Actually, this seems like it'll get like a lot of like play, like a lot of like whenever.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they'll add some, like maybe like when they add like Joker, for instance. I wonder if they'll be like have any that use Joker that they add.
I doubt it. I don't think they're gonna update the single player campaign with the DLC.
Well, it's not
That's
just
so
maybe not like World of Light, but add them to like Spirit Board, which would make sense because they have like done like some little.
Well, then they could, but it'd be cool if they could add new spirits that are Persona characters from different games.
Yeah,
they could do that. Like they could do. I don't know. There's stuff they could do. They could even have like certain
Kamoshida.
Like,
Kamoshida as Ryu Spirit.
Like they could have it be like like Jack Frost maybe. Have you fight like a Jack Frost represented with like I don't know Kirby, Blue Kirby, something like that. I don't know.
Or a Satan.
Yeah, they could do stuff. They could do a lot of that, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did make like maybe not rather than like coming with the DLC. It could be like because I know they're doing like events for it. Like they did like this like some like glasses event where they'll just do characters with glasses, like Jeff from Earthbound and stuff, and like James McCloud. And that's like an event they're doing where like, yeah, you can do these and they're like special. So I'm sure they'll do more of those, and I wouldn't be surprised if they like did some of those with stuff they'll be like getting from like the DLC.
It'd be cool if they use that as a way to like look like more customizable stuff. Like this isn't like a thing yet, but like say like that glasses event. It would be cool if like you like James McCloud, his AI is really hard, but say like it'd be cool if like if you beat him. You could get like a spirit of him and maybe like glasses to put on Wolf or not Wolf, Fox.
That'd be really cool. I like that idea. Like just an extra like color to unlock.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna ask you about Scott. How do you think? Obviously, we're in week 2 now as of this recording.
Oh shit, we are.
Fuck.
It feels like I've had this game for at least a month. That's good.
Yeah. But no, it's only week 2. And what do you think of the balancing in the character roster so far? Because like the three main characters that a lot of like the high level professionals are pinging as characters to watch are what is it? Inkling, Chrom, and Pikachu.
Yeah,
are sort of like the 3 big ones that everyone's saying are going to be in the high level scene, like the competitive Smash scene for a while. That's not to say that they're going to be the same for lower tier players, because obviously characters that are amazing in high tier can sometimes be worse in low tier, and vice versa. A character that can be really good in low tier but bad in high tier, depending on the type of opponent and the players. What do you think of the balancing?
because I still haven't played, like, even despite the, like, huge roster, there's still a lot of characters I just haven't touched at all. But I know from what I've seen of, like, people just, like, playing it, like, it seems like a lot of people don't really like what they did to Link. Like, it seems like a lot of people who played, like, Link before are now playing, like, young Link.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
think
I've seen, which is, like, interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen much of, like, anybody really playing Link, which is kind of weird. But
yeah, he's very much a different character. It seems like they've just moved his like old set to young Link, and then have made like a different character.
That's good.
Which seems like fun, I think, because I think that makes sense to like kind of just like be like, well, if we have Link, young Link, and Toon Link, we should do some more to like make them a bit more variety. Because normally I think you wouldn't have young Link and Toon Link in the same game if it wasn't for the fact that they were going for this sort of gimmick of like, yeah, every past character is back.
Well, it's also I think it's kind of cool. It makes sense for a series like Zelda to have that. Like at first I didn't think I wanted. Like the more I think about it, it's cool that you can play as Link from 3 different eras and 3 different games because it makes sense for that kind of character.
It is like if you're somebody who started like Wind Waker, then it's cool that you can have Toon Link in your game, and also somebody whose like favorite game is Breath of the Wild can also like have their Link.
Or Ocarina or Majora's Mask. Or,
yeah,
you can have young Link.
Yeah.
Which I like. Yeah, I think this is good. Ganondorf looks cool. King K. Rool looks fucking great.
Yeah, I love King K. Rool.
He's so fucking King K thick, as I call him. Yeah, the game is really, really fun from the hands-on time that I got with it.
It's so pretty. It's such a good.
Yeah, and I like they brought back directional air dodges.
Oh yeah.
No wave dashing. That's nice. Because
I guess
because that happened in Melee.
Yeah.
But something interesting to know is that a lot of the big Melee players are like being like, "Peace, I'm out. I'm going to this." Like I've seen, if you catch any of our modded streams, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I think I'm done with Melee, and I'm just gonna do this now."
Yeah, but they'll come back. They always do.
Maybe
they'll come back to Melee.
Zero came out of retirement. I mean, he was a Smash 4 legend, but and he won the Invitational.
Oh.
So yeah, look. I think bottom line is I think this game is going to develop its own sort of cult following, even after like the enormous hype has died down, as most Smash games tend to do, other than Brawl, and like
I would doubt. I've seen many of Brawl fan come out. There's Brawl scene is still there.
Yeah, I guess.
It'll live longer than the fours scene. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
live longer than the competitive Smash Brothers for 3DS.
I feel like before the death of the Wii U, then.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's
and the fact that like this game, I feel like if there's any game that it's like that it's kind of redundant now with Ultimate, I think it's probably 4.
Yeah.
Because it's just 4 but better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real interested once once this game's like settled in and all the Smash nuts can really like get into the nuts and bolts and like start picking apart all the differences.
Yeah, obviously tier lists are subject to change because people get more hands-on time with the characters, and on top of that, there will be buffs and nerfs and changes. And people discovering new techniques, and exploiting the game's mechanics, and things will change.
Right, like now, Simon.
Change. Oh yes, the bell. You're right. The Belmonts have a touch of death, right?
Yeah, both Simon and Richter are both in the S tier, and I'm assuming that'll change. One of them will get bumped down.
I've definitely seen a touch of death with Richter. I think Simon can do it too.
Yeah,
where you can just like hit you once and then like take you off screen.
It's awesome.
It's pretty epic.
I'm also very happy that Diddy Kong is still S tier.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's never not been.
Yeah.
God, remember Brawl when he had 2 bananas everywhere?
They should bring that back.
It was
amazing.
Maybe it'll be better without tripping.
Can fire its spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt.
God, I'm kind of like in the mood to play Smash. Fuck.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But unfortunately, we can't talk about that because a Smash veteran, since Brawl, is getting a live-action movie.
Pikachu! We've already talked about this.
It's okay, now.
You ever just walk?
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. Full disclosure, I think that the Sonic franchise has been dead for years and that the fan base needs to die in a fire.
Okay, sorry. Jesus.
No, I just think they need to take this. Sega needs to take this franchise out, out into the cow pasture and put 2 bullets in its head, and bury it next to Gex.
All right, man.
That's me.
Right.
That being said, Sonic fans are not pleased with this. With the first motion poster and poster. Well, they came out with a motion poster and just like a little poster, and like I feel like the big thing is that Sonic does not skip leg day.
He really doesn't.
He has very
funny looking.
He's got some buff leggies. And you know what? I feel like it's interesting because I didn't know that this was going to be like a CGI live action hybrid thing because Illumination is making a Mario movie that's completely animated.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay, they're going to be like a Mario and a Sonic, the same general thing coming out around the same time. But no.
No, Sonic's just doing what Mario's doing, but in a dumber way.
Yeah.
As is tradition.
No, yeah. Smart. It's going to be the Smurfs movies again, but with Sonic.
I will say, I'm intensely interested in this movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm very much want to see
I
it.
think this is like the dark side, the like darker side of like how I feel about like Detective Pikachu, where it's like they both have the same feeling where it's like, oh, I think I'm interested in it just in general, regardless of like quality. But I think Detective Pikachu, I think, has a much higher chance of being actually like good.
For this, it's more morbid curiosity.
Yeah, like whereas like Sonic, like I'm still curious for some of like this in some of similar like reasons, but it's more on the like more negative end of it than I think Detective Pikachu.
It really be.
I'm trying to keep an open mind because, well, there's a lot and lots of bad Sonic stuff out there. I do feel like instantly jumping to the most negative thoughts is a little bit lazy, and it happens with Sonic a little too much.
Yeah.
So
that's just like people have been trained at this point. Sonic fandom is like.
But I feel like it's a little.
They've been beaten with a spiked mallet for years.
Like, yeah, but I feel like it's over. It's overblown.
It is absolutely overblown. We haven't even seen a fucking trailer yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait for the trailer. Fair. Wait for the trailer and then hate it because the trailer's going to be bad.
Maybe. But I want to keep an open mind. I don't want to. I'm seeing the Detective Pikachu and compared a lot. And first of all, it's really not fair because this movie it's a picture.
Yeah.
This motion picture has no motion in it yet.
No, they had a motion poster. That counts.
Fuck, I guess. Shit.
That was the first thing we did. It was like they had like the Sonic running and it was his outline, but you didn't even see Sonic.
So I'll save my trip.
Wait, and we haven't even seen Sonic fully yet, have we? Except for that
saw his legs. We
saw
that image from the perspective of Sonic's newborn child.
I mean,
oh no!
We saw it.
That's how I see that.
Sonic's poop crown.
That makes me feel like I just got fucking born out of Sonic's uterus.
Oh, you didn't need to say that, but you really did.
You just Scott. if anyone is listening to this podcast, which we know they're not, you've just spawned a billion fan fictions and fan arts. So
they're already there.
Yeah. I guess they are.
I mean, I didn't. I'll full disclosure. I didn't procure this thought from my own head. Someone said this online, and I was like, "Lol, it be," and then said it just now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Good that you're admitting you're a joke plagiarist. Fucking Amy Schumer.
Fuck.
And here's me saying like we should go more interesting and creative insults. There's I don't know. This poster is not, both posters are not hope. Do not leave me with much hope, but I want to like I want to like wait until we dunk on
much
it.
of anything because there's nothing much there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say Sonic has nice shoes.
Sonic does have sweet shoes. Are they branded? Does Sonic have a shoe deal?
I think he has. Yeah, he used to. That's why he's wearing like those shoes in like Sonic Adventure 2. He has like weird special shoes.
No, but does he have like a brand deal, like a deal or Nike or something?
I'll look it up. Sonic shoes.
What do you place your bets? What do you think Sonic's rocking?
What? And what do you mean?
I think he's rocking them Yeezys.
What kind of shoes do you think he's wearing?
Yeezys.
Place your bets.
We're rocking them Yeezys, my boy.
I feel like Sonic's rocking those light up Skechers.
I'm mostly saying,
like,
dude, what if he had Heelys?
He would.
He's rolling around at the speed of sound.
I'm seeing mostly Etsy.
Oof.
So I don't think anything official.
It'd be like that.
See, now it's room for interpretation, like all true art.
Mm-hmm.
You can interpret it.
All right, we can stop talking about Sonic.
Yeah, let's talk about another thing that's going to be animated, except probably better. Actually, I wouldn't. It's definitely better, right?
Oh, is that the transition you're going for? Okay, yeah, it is.
It's going to be better than this because it's already out. This is the worst transition I've ever done on this show.
I would say if I were to compare like the movie that I saw to like the image I saw, I would say I enjoyed the movie more. If I had to pick.
Yeah.
I think I got more out of the movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Into the Spiderverse came out.
Yeah. How'd you like it, Carroll?
How'd you like seeing Venom for the second time?
Oh, it was so good, guys. Remember Tom Hardy? That was great. I love that movie so goddamn much. But
yeah, Carroll didn't see this one. It was me, Scott.
I don't have money, okay? I spent my last $5 on a box of Oreos
Venom
today.
Twice.
Fucking fight me!
You haven't seen Venom twice.
I don't know if I actually saw Venom twice. I don't remember.
How do you not know?
I don't remember because it all blurs together.
It's just like a fever dream.
Yeah, Venom is a fever dream, but you know it's not a fever dream?
Into the Spiderverse?
Into the Spiderverse.
That was a better segue.
Thank you.
I would describe Into the Spiderverse is certainly like an experience. I've never had a fever dream, but I'm sure if I had, it would probably look like Into the Spider-Verse. This movie is one of the best looking like possibly one of the best looking things ever.
I think it's stylistically
the
best like 3D animation style I've ever seen. I would say.
Yeah,
it's pretty up there.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of those
I'm also gonna see it again tomorrow with my parents.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, a lot of those animated kids movies look stylistically very similar, with exceptions, with a lot of exceptions.
Yeah,
but a lot of them do look very similar. This is not one of them, and I appreciate them going the extra mile.
Who brought you the Emoji Movie, by the way?
I heard people saying that this style would get exhausting and like not be good for an entire feature-length movie, and I was real glad that they were like wrong because this movie it definitely because all the trailers have been very kinetic and very like unconventional with the way it's like
presenting itself.
Yeah, and the movie is very unconventional in its presentation, but it does slow down. There are lots of moments where it can feel exhausting at some points, but it always I think the pacing of this movie is really, really well done.
Yeah, I think my main problem with the style, if you can really call it that, I don't know if that necessarily was a problem, but I think sometimes I almost got the feeling at the beginning I almost thought wait, this isn't in 3D, right? Because I don't have 3D glasses. Because sometimes it sort of looks like it's like when you watch a 3D movie and you don't have the 3D glasses on. So sometimes that threw me off a little bit. I was like, wait, am I supposed to be wearing 3D glasses? But it's I wouldn't really say it's actually a problem, but just something that threw me off a little bit.
This is one of the best superhero movies of the year.
Which is saying a lot.
And it is.
How many came out this year?
It's probably either my second favorite or my favorite of the year.
Really? Even over Black Panther?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's what it's competing for. I need to see it a couple times. But it is certainly the best Spider-Man movie.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
It's
I mean, I've been memeing on not really caring because it just because I find the inherent concept of a Spider-Verse to be dumb. But it might get to a point where I kind of have to see it,
Yeah,
I think the movie does a really good job balancing being a Miles Morales movie and being a Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, I think
because it just kind of uses the Spider-Verse stuff as Miles' mentor.
Yeah. Does this make you excited to see what they do with Miles Morales in live action in eventually?
It makes me a little scared. I'm not sure if the MCU can with this presentation of Miles. I've already gotten so invested in Miles actor.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me worried about how invested I could get in MCU Miles.
Oh yeah, that's because you've Jré is an active refuter of Homecoming.
Oh well, yeah. I don't. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't like Homecoming.
That's fine. I like it, but that's it's different opinions. It's okay.
Yeah, I my opinion. It's fine.
Oh my god.
But
here's the thing. No, that movie has a lot of problems, but I enjoy it despite its faults, and he didn't.
Miles.
He's very
I'm forgetting the actor who plays Miles, but I think is one of my favorite leads in a super. Because
I really liked his dad.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yes, yeah.
His dad's a cop, right?
Yeah.
He's very, very enjoyable. He's very he's just kind of fun, and has a really good dynamic with him. I think.
Yeah,
they got a good relationship.
Here's a question that I have. It's gonna be interesting. Do you think that this version of Miles captures the spirit of Spider-Man in the whole "with great power comes great responsibility" message?
Totally, absolutely. The movie's not necessarily about the great power and great responsibility. It's more about it is more of a learning how to use your powers. It's Miles's arc is not that he is that he he does feel guilt. He does feel that trademark Spider-Man guilt. But it's not that he doesn't want to be Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that he doesn't really know how to be. And he doesn't really have a role.
He has this legacy to live up to.
Yeah.
Not just of the Spider-Man from his universe, but all these other Spider people he's meeting.
Yeah. It adds a good sense of legacy and grandeur. And the scene where he becomes Spider-Man and is absolutely incredible. One of the best film moments of the year, I would say, because the arc's done so well, and it takes, because his arc, it's through, the movie does a good job of like balancing like his characterization through the dialogue, the voice acting, and namely the animation. The animation also helps a lot with his development because of just how like the movie changes and like the color palette it uses to like symbolize his growth. It's very interesting. So yeah, probably better than Venom. Like, you should probably see it. I don't know.
Probably.
Just like I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, also, here's a little peek behind the curtain, guys. I had to fight to convince Carroll to let us talk about Into the Spiderverse.
I was mostly kidding.
He was like, man, and then
because I was kind of mad on it, but like, you know. Like, again, this is just like a lot sort of out of my wheelhouse in terms of movies I would want to go see. But the reactions I've gotten are so positive that I think I'll probably check it out eventually. If you know, I will. You know, I'm sort of financially challenged right now, so that might not happen soon, but I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah. Also, it made me care about Spider-Gwen, which I didn't think I could do.
As I've said before, what a sweet hoodie.
She is a really sweet hoodie.
She is. She really do be there. Okay, moving on from Into the Spider-Verse, we have a brand new segment for you. Ronny has returned from the depths of the abyss to deliver some cutting-edge wisdom in list form. Ronny's Rambles is coming up next.
Hey guys, it's Ronny here. Ever since Carroll took over the Geeks by Gaslight, I've been relegated to the janitor's closet. And, well, I think they forgot that I'm here. Because I've already eaten through both of my arms and it's been months. Anyway, so I decided to start up my own show called Ronny's Rambles. And, well, today we're going to be talking about top 10 Smash Bros. Waifus. Let's fucking go. Number 10, Sheik. Sheik is badass and everything, but they seem very closed off and distant, so I don't really think there's much to work with. Not great waifu material. Number 9, Lucina. Lucina's got a fun personality and everything, but there is no substance there. Also, she's underage, putting her at the bottom of the list. 8, Femcorin. Yeah, Femcorin is okay. There's a trend among these Fire Emblem characters. They've got fun personalities, but I don't think there's much substance there. So, Femcorin, despite being able to turn into a dragon, which puts her above Lucina, not that great. Number 8 waifu. Number 7, Fem Robin. Same kind of deal. Fun personality, very little substance, but can turn into the Fell Dragon, bump up against Corrin. Number 6, Peach. Peach is your basic bitch, like, waifu, you know, very vanilla, very plain. But she's got quite the ass, which is why she's number 6. Number 5, Rosalina. Same kind of thing, except I like Rosalina's design a bit more. Why she's number 5. Number 4, Bayonetta. Bayonetta is up there, and before you start yelling at me that she's not within the top 3, or at number 1 even, I have to ask you a question. Do you honestly think you can handle one night with Bayonetta? Now, she will take you to places where you will never come back. Ever. Which is why she's number 4. Otherwise, if she were obtainable, probably be number 1. Maybe. Who knows? Number 3, Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus. Very closed off person, yes. But I feel like you can actually make some, like, leeway in there, actually get something out of it. Also, them heels, though. Nice. 2, Daisy. Basically, take Peach, give her some spunk, a booty that don't quit, and you got Daisy. And you know what? That's just a lot better than Peach in every way. Take Peach and Daisy, put them side by side. If you choose Peach, I don't know you. Daisy's always better pick between the two. Yeah. And number 1, Palutena. Everyone's gonna start fucking yelling at me for this one. But honestly, Palutena's got a great personality. There's shit to work with there. You know, there's substance. Also, while she may not have a good ass as Daisy, she's got a great ass. And just everything there is great. Her design is great. Number one waifu, alright? Now, after all that degeneracy, time to make another meal. I think this time I'm gonna have to start with my feet. Next time on Ronnie's Rambles, top 10 ways to cook feet. I hope I survive long enough. See you guys.
And we're back. Thanks, Ronnie, you fucking weirdo. So yeah, Scott, welcome to Recommendations, everybody.
It's me.
Thanks for coming into Show and Tell. Scott, what did you bring?
I brought The Promised Neverland, which is a manga. But before we get into that, I wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about
Our Lord and Savior.
the recent
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. The recent changes to
That came out way
Viz
too
Shonen
quickly,
Jump.
Greg.
I was fucking ready. I had that shit loaded up.
The Viz Shonen Jump subscription service, because they just made a bunch of big changes to it. Before, for those who aren't familiar with it, how it sort of worked for a while was that you could, through Viz on their website, you could pay individually for volumes of manga to order digitally or physically or whatever, and for their subscription, which I forget how much it was, I think maybe $10-$20 a year, something like that, you could get a month. They're just the magazine digitally every week. But recently they changed that, and I think it's a good change, because I think the sort of fun with that sort of format is I think most people are really, at least in the West, aren't really interested in interacting with manga through just the magazine as a whole. I think most people mostly just want the series.
Yeah.
So now what it is they have not even paid, free of charge, you can read the last 3 chapters of any given series in Shonen Jump for free. Which is kind of ambitious, I think, but I think it's a good call. Because manga is a very piracy heavy industry, mostly because it's super a lot of times more convenient. And the other thing now is if you subscribe to them, you get access to a huge catalog of manga that you can just read, which is a big thing, because one thing that always kind of bugged me about their old one is that you get the magazine, but you couldn't go back through anything past. So you'd have to already have read caught up with a series to be able to follow it really in the magazine.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just read from wherever it is.
Yeah.
So
that's
now
good
you
that they fixed
get
that.
access. Yeah, so it's really nice. Their I think their app and reader and stuff I think needs to change a bit to fit the new model. But I think it worked very well. So that's how I read Promised Neverland. They came out with that came out that was effective on December 17th. It's, as of recording this, it's the 21st. So it's pretty recent. So I just it came out and I was like, you know what, I've been meaning to read this manga for a while because I've been hearing about it for a long time. So I just dove straight into The Promised Neverland. So what it is basically the premise. I'll just explain the premise of the first arc, because it's kind of hard to go in beyond that, I think, without spoiling stuff. But that's fine,
the third.
first arc is
Every time you come on this show for recommendations, that's how it is.
Oh yeah,
It's always how it be.
yeah.
I'll talk about the
But
first one because you can't spoil. It's fine, dude. You can spoil things.
Yeah, the
Okay.
first arc is kind of one of the most I think arguably the most interesting parts about it.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
The first arc, basically the premise, it's very different from most other shonen manga.
Mm-hmm.
It's set on it in the first, at least it's set on an orphanage. In this orphanage called the Gracefield House. And there's all these kids at this orphanage. And it mainly focuses on 3 of them. The 3 main characters are this girl Emma and two boys named Norman and Ray. And what they live there with their
Poor kid named Norman.
I was thinking, hang on. As soon as you said a kid named Ray. I had to repress my urge to scream "Booyaka" at the top of my lungs.
Fuck you, Carroll.
Anyways, so they live on this orphanage, and every day they do this like little like activity test thing to sort of like get them. So at this point, a lot of these kids are like really smart. In particular, these three are part of the reason these three are like the main characters is because they're like some of the oldest, and they are some of the smartest. They get the highest scores on these tests, and they have access to all these like books and stuff to read. But one of the rules is they can't leave the orphanage. There's like this gate they're not allowed to go past. They're not allowed to leave, but they're told like, yeah, at one point in your life, it's not like a specific age that they do this, but by the time they turn 12, they're gonna get to leave and be like adopted by a foster parent and go into the outside world. And so basically they live in this orphanage. And so one of the things is like, oh yeah, like none of them ever like write back to us. I guess the like outside world must be so like awesome that they forget. So I feel like this setup already kind of implies there's some other stuff going on.
Oh, seems like pretty fair to me.
Basically, what they find this out one day when
suspicious
one girl
about this.
when one girl like leaves, they realize, oh, she forgot her like bunny that she like really wanted to bring with her. And so when
like a toy bunny or a real bunny?
No, just a toy rabbit, like a stuffed bunny.
No, I thought we had like a cool like jumpy bunny mascot thing. You know, like those weird cat mascot, like the weird cat thing.
It's so like one of the younger girls who just left. They go to bring cat thing. You mean Chopper?
I guess.
He's a reindeer.
I guess that's what that is.
Anyways, so they bring in this girl her bunny, so they go over to where the like gate is because they don't want her to forget it, and they accidentally they overhear. So she's dead, right? They find her body.
What?
And they overhear there are these like creatures.
How could she be dead if she was a part of such a respectable and non-creepy establishment?
Anyways, so they overhear. So there's these creatures. This is what they're called. Sort of throughout the series, they call them demons. But for a while, it's kind of mysterious exactly what they are. So you don't really know. But for lack of a better term, they're called demons. And so basically what they find out is that this is not an orphanage. This is a farm, and they are raised to be eaten by these creatures. And they're like, well, shit, and they go back. And so what a lot of this whole like first like arc is them sort of planning an escape. And it's actually very like intense because they go through this whole battle of witch thing.
So it's like it's like a Prison Break movie?
Yeah, kind of, but it's like
a manga.
It's very like Battle of Wits because they're their quote unquote mother who like sort of, you know, takes care of them, like is kind of immediately he realizes that one of them knows because they accidentally leave the bunny there. And she finds the bunny and she's like, someone must have like been here. She immediately suspects that someone's like found out what's going on. And is trying to figure out like who it is. So that's kind of like the kick starts this whole like battle of wits with them. They're trying to gather as much information as they can as to what like might get in the way of their escape. Like they realize like a tracking device in them and stuff like that.
That's sick.
And so it's very like intense and like because these kids are all really smart and so they're like mother. So they have it's like a battle of wits thing sort of. Where they're sort of like doing it. It's very interesting.
Sounds like it. I get it. This is one of the most like popular new series from Shonen Jump, right? I've been hearing a lot about.
It's like pretty new. Yeah, I've been hearing about it for a long time too. And I only just got into it, but it's very interesting. One of the things I like most about it is just like because I was really like the other night I was up till like 5 a.m. reading it. Until I got caught up, and I was like a man possessed. It was very like a surreal experience because I was like doing nothing else. And then once I finished it, I went and ate 3 corn dogs and went to bed.
Oh, that's such a mood.
My time. Because I was like hungry and I was like, gonna finish this first. I think, yeah. It was very like surreal experience. I think part of the reason it might have been related to like the medication I was taking because I'm like sick. But I was in a very weird state of mind. But I did that.
It's
very interesting.
See, I've not known. I own a volume of this, but I've never I never really cracked it out because I had no clue like what it's about. And I'm just kind of weird like that. I need to know like a premise of something before I like fully like jump into it a lot of the time.
But not before you buy it.
No, no, obviously not. What? The cover looked.
Usually I'll get like interested in something like only once I know like the
Yeah.
premise, and so I won't even really think about like, oh, I should like get into that until that.
Yeah.
Until at least enough about it to like interest me. Like maybe I'll know the premise, but nothing like grabs me about it.
Like, listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Man, money's money, right? Right. But
Sure
time is the more valuable currency, right?
That's
So if I spend
that's so pretentious.
so right.
I mean, you can always get more money, but you can never like gain more time.
Yeah.
Right? Time is time.
No, I
Time
can't
is always
always
gonna be
get
a
more
finite
money.
resource.
You can
I can't always get more.
rob a bank.
Like not okay, but like you can gain money, but you're always gonna have a limited amount of time. You're always you're within
Why
that
is this getting
time.
so
you
philosophical?
have
Listen,
to
man,
gain money. Yeah.
listen. You chose to watch Venom twice. That's some time you're never getting back. I chose not
Time
to.
well spent.
But you can
Time
make the
well
money back.
spent.
You can make the money back, but you'll never get the time back.
Exactly.
I wouldn't miss that. I wouldn't take those
Listen,
3.5 hours away for the world.
God. Listen, man. I had a great time rewatching Soul Leader 6 times. It was a great use of my time.
There was like a character in like a VN I was reading just recently who like had a whole like spiel he went on about how he has all these clocks and he's like, yeah, it's like sucks that like time moves the same for everybody because I work really hard but shouldn't I deserve more time because of that? So yeah, that's why I kind of just collect clocks to flex on God.
That's
He like says like, yeah, my hobby of collecting clocks is in my mind is sort of like a minor rebellion against God.
That's weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it was very
Weird
like
flex.
I was like just thinking about this because this was just the other day I got to this, and then we went into this conversation. I was like, wow, this is like very similar to that.
So yeah, Promise Neverland.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know much more to say about it, but it's very interesting.
Really like the art I've seen.
Yeah, I like the art. Good.
And isn't it getting like an anime soon?
Yeah, it is. I forgot about that actually.
How is it like? How is it in terms of content? Is it a particularly violent show or series?
Yeah, I'd say so because it's the first arc isn't actually like all that violent because even though you have like this like a violent concept of getting eaten by these like creatures, you don't really like see it until like later in the series because the series goes on after like escaping the orphanage and goes deeper into like the stuff with those creatures. So it gets more violent like later. But yeah, it's it's published in Shonen Jump, so like there is like a limit to how violent it can get. But
Sweet.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good. Maybe I'll check it out if I get money. But I'll probably just spend it on watching on demand because that's what I do with my money. Dre, what did you bring?
Oh, yeah, it's my turn next. All right. So, it's actually funny. We were talking about Smash, right?
Yeah.
I was playing. I started playing Fire Emblem because, everyone complains about how many Fire Emblem characters Smash, and I didn't like that argument, but I couldn't really like argue like in favor of Fire Emblem because I don't really like know anything about Fire Emblem. So so I could like flex on like people complaining about Fire Emblem. I got into Fire Emblem.
Always the best reason to get into something is to flex.
So yeah, I started playing Path of.
So you got into it just to dab on the haters?
Yes. Why do you think I still have plans to watch Iron Fist?
Oh.
But
but you're already dabbing on the haters.
no, I'm doing it to dab on you. I'm going to dab on you. I'm watching Iron Fist. I'm going to hope it's bad, and so I can make fun of you for
just
thinking
like
Iron
that
Fist is
show.
good.
I just like that show.
Yeah,
okay?
it's fine. It's fine. I just want to like make fun of you for it.
Okay, you already make fun of me for it.
Yeah, but
watching it won't change the.
Yeah, but I want to make fun of it for more big reasons. Anyway, Path of Radiance.
Okay.
This is the game. This is otherwise known as the one with Ike in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are two with Ike in it.
There are two with Ike in it. I have not played or.
This is the first one with Ike.
Yeah, I have not played or I'm not done with Path of Radiance, so I'm not going to talk about Radiant Dawn at all. Don't know much about it. Not sure if I'm even going to play it. Basically, this is a very interesting Fire Emblem game. It's the first one that was in 3D, and it actually has a lot of firsts apparently for the Fire Emblem series. So Fire Emblem, I think most people should have a basic understanding of like what it is: strategy RPG, fantasy based. Kind of one of the longest running Nintendo like series. But we only got it like in America relatively recently with the Game Boy Advance one. And then it just got really popular with Awakening like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, and I played Awakening back when it came out, how not really being into Fire Emblem at all, and I really played it.
You what?
I really enjoyed Awakening, but I haven't played it since. And never like kind of delve further into the series. So coming to this was really interesting. One of the things that Path of Radiance is like one of the things that makes it stand out the most from any Fire Emblem game is that the main character Ike is not royalty in any way. Okay, and it's very important to the game. Ike is a son of a mercenary, Grail, who runs his own mercenary company called the Grail Mercenaries, because he's really uncreative like that. And Ike's just kind of training, and on a training regiment, he's not on training regiment. He's sent out for one of his first missions, fighting bandits, and then it turns out how he eventually learns that the country that he's in, Crimea, is being invaded by an opposing army. I'm forgetting how to pronounce them. Dymania or something like that. And that Crimea has
Weird fantasy name. Got it.
Yeah, has no chance of winning. That at this point the king is already been killed. The king and queen, and the prince. So, as far as anyone knows, all heirs to the royal throne are dead.
Check.
The capital is gone. Armies are still going at it, but that's mainly because most people don't know. What's going on. And so they have a skirmish with the opposing army. With Dimea. Yeah. And in that skirmish, or after it, they discover a woman. And it turns out that the reason those Dimanian soldiers were there was that they were attacking a convoy of the Princess of Crimea, who no one knew about. Who was kept a secret so that the prince could become would become king. So
okay. So he hid the true heir. He hid the true heir away.
Yeah. So, that's kind of the Grail Mercenaries have to kind of figure out what they're going to do who, if they're going to help Dimea, if they're going to turn her in, if they're going to help the Princess Chimera regain her legacy, like regain her throne, and they end up going to an opposing nations that knew about the princess, that all the royalty of every nation in this world knows that the princess exists. Yes, just not the common people. So, you and the romance stories are basically going to these different kingdoms and trying to like get help and basically
Very
like
Fire Emblem.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, it turns out this is a minor spoiler. Carroll put another timestamp in this because he's a really nice guy. While they're seeking aid from a opposing or another nation, one led by Lagoos, which are people who can turn into animals. Grail, Ike's father, is killed by
Bro!
the Black
I was
Knight.
gonna play that game.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
The Black Knight,
Oh,
who is one of who I'm told is one of the best Fire Emblem villains of all time. I've not gotten.
he's the only Fire Emblem villain who I know. I only know of one Fire Emblem villain. It's the Black Knight. So that's got to count for something.
Right. Right. So the story kind of shifts and it becomes about Ike trying to not only do the Grail Mercenaries basically have to win a war for a nation that's already dead. They also have a new...
That seems like you could spend your time doing more productive things, but...
Did you talk about the furry racism yet?
I have not.
Oh.
So, a big thing in this game is that the Lagoos...
Fire Emblem Path of Furry Racism.
Yeah, the Lagoos, the people who can turn into animals, are a marginalized class. They were previously enslaved by all nations. They are not anymore. They have like 3 kingdoms, and they are very like weak. Not like weak as in terms of like themselves, but their nations are kind of.
They're not politically strong.
They're not politically strong. People hate them. The royalty generally tries to integrate the Lagoos. That's who's people like the upper echelons want to advance Lagoon society, but it's just like not taking. Mainly because the king of Dimania or whatever is a massive racist.
As you do.
Yeah. And so a lot of the game,
Haha, typical such.
and then that's how like a lot of the story is dedicated to exploring the kind of the way racism and how that affects everyone, and kind of Lagu Bjork, that's what they call the humans in this game, relations. It's real. It's which is pretty, from what I can tell, it's pretty uncharacteristic, like well written for a Fire Emblem game. It's the characters are really well defined. I can't get into my favorite like units and characters who's just in your army because you'd be for a long time. Right? It's a very political story, or as most Fire Emblems are, but this one feels like more believable. And the story just once you get through the initial social chapters, it's a game that starts slow, but once Princess Chimera gets involved, the story just starts going and getting more and more interesting. And you keep like meeting and exploring these different characters and nations. It's absolutely fantastic. I've been glued to it for weeks. Also, a very, I'd say a pretty good challenge. It's not as brutal as some Fire Emblem games are like known for being. but it still like will put you through a good challenge. I've restarted many times, but I think this is a really beginner friendly like Fire Emblem game. I have not found it too hard to get invested in that at all. So yeah, it's a pretty good place, I think, to start with the series, and I think it's definitely got me more interested in all the other games. I think if I was to I think I would probably recommend playing this over Awakening, possibly as a starting point, just because I think the story's more gripping. Though Awakening is certainly like more mechanically like easier to get into.
Have you finished the game yet?
I am just over the halfway mark. I have reached a really hard section of the game, so I've been restarting like a fiend. So sorry, Fire Emblem Faithful. I am not doing an Iron Man run. I'm not that cool. Cool. So yeah, I like Ike and I like his game.
We like Ike.
We like Ike. We like Ike.
People like.
I like Ike.
Well, that's like, yeah, it's such a weird. Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's me now.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm really excited because this is something that, oh man, every couple of years something happens and I end up finding myself back watching one of my favorite shows of all time, if not my favorite show of all time. And that's Kim Possible. The original animated show. It's so perfect. I love it. I love almost everything about it. And so, I know that there's a Disney Channel live action movie coming out soon. That's not what made me revisit it. I don't know why I did. I just like the thought occurred to me and I started watching a few episodes, and then a couple days later that trailer came out.
It's wild.
Which the movie doesn't look that good, but I don't really care. I'll see it, and I'm not going to be sad about it because it doesn't matter because I have this. I'm mostly going to be talking about the first 3 seasons. Season 4 is different and strange, and but I'm still unlike the first 3 seasons. I've only seen the season 4 of full run through only once. I'm in the middle of watching it for the second time, but I've seen the first 3 seasons of Kim Possible 3 times all the way through. Once when it was originally airing when I was very, very young, in like 2003 or 2005 or whatever it was.
Those 2,000 years, they all blend together.
Yeah, when I was a wee lad, I watched. I was obsessed. It was my go-to show. Back then. And back then, that's the thing about Kim Possible is that every time I go back, I can appreciate something new about it. Every time I see it, and there's something new to love. Like the first time I watched it, I was just like, I was in love. Like I wanted to be Kim Possible. Like she was like an idol for me.
Carroll Possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Carroll Possible. I like it.
No, you don't. It's really bad. But it got to a point that this is a true story. When I first learning how to swim as a kid, I took swimming lessons, and I insisted. And here's the thing: I was always really scared of going into the water, and I insisted that that my swim teacher call me Ron because it gave me a confidence boost.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It gave me like it made me feel stronger, and so that's how I learned to swim as a kid. It was so weird thinking about that now, but but like there's like I wanted to be these characters so fucking badly, and so like I just love the action. I love like the great the humor. I still have right on my shelf up there a McDonald's squeaky toy of Rufus the Naked Mole Rat wearing a sombrero. It's just so charming and so fun, and I love that aspect of it. And obviously the high school drama aspects is something I didn't get until I was a lot older. That's when I rewatched it the second time. Or I guess when I saw it the second time, when I rewatched it the first time, I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of these things that I didn't get about, dealing with, crushes and girls and
Chads.
what it's like, and chads, yes. What it's like dealing with like high school problems. And, like I got all of that, I was like, oh, this is so faithful to me. And yes, it's older, so you don't have as much of like the online life as it is now. But there are aspects of it that are dated, but I feel like it's at least pretty timeless, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if kids nowadays would identify with it the same way I did. But and oh my god, can I say something funny? When I first watched, because there's two TV movies, and the second one, what was that one called? So the Drama, I think it was Kim Possible, the movie So the Drama.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it's the not as good one. Because there's two. There's the good. There's like the better one that's got like a bunch of cool time travel shenanigans, and then there's the not as good one, which is the one with the Kim gets like a weird boyfriend. And so basically what they thought was when they were doing that movie that was the end of the show. And they even made like a joking reference that like when Ron and Kim eventually get together, it's the end.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it ends. And they do. And I remember when I watched that movie when I was a kid and I saw them kiss, it came completely out of nowhere. Like, whoa, when did that happen? How come that's a thing? Despite the fact that that's basically what the movie's about. But I didn't get it as a kid. But I got it now. Ron and Kim are adorable. They're my favorite. They're my favorite thing ever. I'm not a shipping guy, but if I was, this would be it.
What's wrong with boats, my guy? What?
I'm not a boating enthusiast. No, I love them. Ron is me. He's like he really be like a spirit animal for me in a lot of ways. There's a lot of projection, I feel.
This is really not how Carroll talks. This is very interesting.
Right, really?
Yes. This is very intriguing.
Yeah, I love this show so goddamn much. It just makes me feel happy to talk about it.
This is very interesting. I'll be honest, when you mentioned that you were gonna have with this, I thought it was like a meme or something.
What?
No, absolutely not. I love it.
I never watched
Oh, well,
really?
So
this show is epic.
that's why I thought
And go.
Do it. It's
Yeah,
go
I
watch
just
Kim
thought-
Possible. It's really good.
maybe I will.
Yeah, and so basically Ron is like Kim is like the pop. She's what's really interesting about this is that you often don't get high school stories where the main character is the popular kid,
Yeah.
That's not usually done.
Because being popular makes you bad.
Yeah, being popular makes you bad, and like, but in Kim's case, she deals with the stresses of being in that position. She's the captain of the cheerleading squad. Everybody looks up to her. She has to maintain her grades and keeping like all the stresses of being in that situation. And that's really nicely paralleled by Ron, her best friend, who's a total loser. And those two things, they complement each other so well, where you see both sides of the two opposite ends of the spectrum of the high school experience, but seeing them get along and grow to closer and closer together, it just makes so much sense because even though they're so different,
Yeah.
they couldn't be more. Those two characters could not be more different. And that's why they connect so well. And some of these episodes are so ridiculous. Like, can I explain to you my favorite concept for an episode of this show?
Sure.
Because it's so good. It's so stupid.
Actually, Carroll, you're not allowed
it.
to tell us about this piece of media you brought on.
Okay. I guess this is the end of the podcast. I quit. I retire. Kim Possible sucks.
What's the sitch, Carroll?
Okay, I'll give you the sitch. So basically, Dr. Draken, who's a genius and Kim's arch nemesis, creates this amazing new product. Dr. D's shampoo, brainwashing shampoo and cranium rinse.
Oh shit.
Where basically he is it's a shampoo with his face on it that when you like rub it into your scalp, you become brainwashed.
Okay.
Slave mind to Draken. And so he ships it out. It goes to he goes to basically to Walmart and all of these big stores. But nobody buys it because it has his face on it. Right?
Right.
And he's like, oh, damn it. This was really going to be good. And so his plan then becomes he decides he wants to become a rapper and go on American Idol so he can become a famous rap star. So he can mention his product in his song. So because when you mention a product in a song, it gets popular. And so then Ron has to enter. They have to enter in American Idol to beat Draken. It's so stupid.
That's amazing.
It's so funny. He just wants to become famous so he can.
Dr. Draken is like prototype doofus.
He is he is. Dr. Draken is so funny because he's so like cartoonishly dastardly. But then there's his mother, who's just like a normal mom, but she's like really pushy. And his incompetence is contrasted by Shigo, who is his henchman, who he pays a lot of money, and who is just like a sarcastic bitch, who's constantly shit talking him all the time. And she's Kim's main rival. Because she's the one who you get all like the badass kung fu action sequences with. And she's an interesting character in her own right. But something I've noticed through this show is that they build up Shigo as like this ass kicker, but the amount of time she gets her shit kicked in this show is amazing. She kind of sucks when you actually take a step back, even though she's always portrayed as being, she's even like confirmed like she's smart. She's basically smarter than Draken, but you just can't be asked to give a shit enough about any of his plans to actually contribute. Oh, this show is so good. And so that is those are a lot of things I just said, but on rewatching it this third time, I really discovered something else I love about this show, which is the animation, because it's really good. Because I've been learning a lot more about animation in the last couple of years. And like while I think because like the animation style does change, especially from the first season to the second. Because I feel like when you think of Kim Possible, the way it looks, you must think of the stuff from the second season, because it's cleaner, and it's a lot more cut and dry. But even though it's got its charms, it's very angular. But I sort of do. There's something very charming about the older episodes, because there's a lot more looser line work and smears and stuff like that you see less of as the series goes on. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, the show has 4 seasons. What's interesting, which I didn't talk about, is because after they supposedly wanted to end the show after the second movie, the show got renewed. So like, fuck, what do we do? What they ended up doing is making that movie just canon. And so the final season is just about Kim and Ron as a new couple.
Which I remember being very interesting, because you don't see like many shows about people who are just
just like in a relationship. And it's like, and like sort of up and down. And Ron's always going through some weird shenanigans. He like something happens. Like there's episodes where because he's the famous inventor of the Nako, which is a which is a taco and nacho combination monstrosity masterpiece, which I'm so sad doesn't actually exist. Although I think it's probably for the better. And so he ends up getting a bunch of royalties from Taco Bell, which it's called Bueno Nacho, but if you actually read the original series Bible, it's referred to as Taco Bell.
That's real good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he gets all these royalties, and so he becomes like a million. And it all goes to his head. And there's so many episodes, like it's sort of something happens, and then Ron gets a big head about it, which is sort of a trope of the show. But it's good. And you know, there's so much to love about Kim Possible. It's so fun and quirky and charming, and all the characters play off each other so well. They do some like sort of like super spy tropes, but it's more of a superhero show. It's more of a superhero show than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more of a superhero show than a spy show. Because of all like the ridiculous recurring characters. There's such like another dumb villain I want to talk about. The guy called Duff Killigan, which already with a name like that, you're off to a good start, right?
All right.
So Duff Killigan is an evil Scottish golfer who fires exploding. He golfs exploding golf balls as like his main weapon.
That's kind of cool.
And in his he like has to mention screams forward and then like hits them with this fucking golf club. It's so dumb. And so Duff Killigan, in his first episode, his plan is he steals like this super grass, right? And he's hopping around the world, planting and then growing a giant lump all over the entire map, like all over the globe, to create one massive golf course for him to rule over. This show just be like that. There's so many dumb, goofy episodes that are just so fun to watch. Like every so often I'll forget about how much I love this show. And then it comes back to me and I'm like, oh yeah, this is just the best thing. It's the best thing for me to go and see.
This is very much like the most positive.
Sorry, say that again.
This is the most positive I've seen you about anything like ever.
Ever? Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's the show. Okay, I'll say this. The show's not perfect. Nothing ever is, right? Like
what's going on with Ron's ears? Like, what's going on? Why are they so...
They're beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
Don't think that's a human being.
And also the performances...
Humans don't usually have ears that large.
Yeah, the performances of the actors, specifically Will Freddy as Ron, get a lot better as time goes on. You can see him sort of start off sort of just kind of, you know how it be when like voice actors sort of like settle into the role as the show run goes on.
Yeah.
Sort of like he really finds his groove halfway through season 2. But there is, again, show's not perfect, nothing ever is. Like for instance, there's they indulge in a little bit of the they're more respectful about it, but they indulge in a little bit of the Asian mysticism trope, sort of gone out of fashion.
Yeah.
Lately.
But that's very 2000s.
It is very 2000s. Like there's a Ron gets, there's an episode where like one of the best Ron episodes, even though it's, not one of the better episodes in my opinion, is when Ron gets transferred. He basically he has a week going to like a secret ninja school. In exchange, the school that Ron and Kim go to, they get like this super hot like Japanese dude who like rides a has sweet hair and chews gum all the time. And so Kim and Monique, who's played by Raven Simone,
I forgot about Monique.
Yeah, they're basically fighting over this new guy who has like because like the whole school's obsessing over him. But basically, Ron goes to this ninja school, and he sort of like becomes they indulge in a little bit of like the white savior trope, in that way. But like weird, like Dante Bosco's in an episode.
That's awesome. I love Dante.
You know
Bosco.
Yeah, I like him. He's great in everything. No, it's just like it's so fun. Like, okay, admittedly, the episode where they go to the X Games isn't all that great.
Whoa, the X Games.
Yes, there's an episode that's a tie-in with the X Games where Kim gets saved by Ryan Nyquist, who's like a BMX biker.
Oh, yeah. Do those still happen? I know they left San Diego, so they don't matter.
Oh, they were here?
That's where they started.
Huh, interesting. No, I think they still do it.
Wait.
Y'all remember Danny Phantom? Sorry.
Danny Phantom's great. Danny Phantom was great.
I just thought of Danny Phantom.
Disney was really on that X Games shit, because I remember that was like the ending of the movie 2.
Was Kim Possible a Disney show?
Yes.
That explains why I never watched it then. I was not a Disney kid.
Yeah, it's funny. I started off as a Disney kid, but then I quickly into a Cartoon Network kid, and that's why
that was me, except Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
I started off Nickelodeon, and then I went to Cartoon Network.
I watched all 3. I'm like that.
You're a smart man.
I got the best of the shit. Watching Powerpuff Girls and fucking Hannah Montana.
Yeah, I barely watched. I didn't watch any Nickelodeon, like at all.
Not even SpongeBob.
No, it was funny. SpongeBob was banned in my household because my thought it was stupid.
Yeah, I knew a couple.
Can't imagine not watching SpongeBob.
I knew a couple people who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob because people make them.
It's so sad.
It is,
dude. You know what's so funny? I'll give you a camp story from when I was a wee lad. I had my friend William from back in when I went to like a camp every summer. Shout out to William, William Allen. He loves SpongeBob so much, and when he found out that I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob, when my mom went to pick me up one day, he went up to her and was like, "Is it true that Carol's not allowed to watch SpongeBob?" And my mom was like, "Yeah." And he legitimately said, "Wow, you're such a bad mom." Like, you're a bad parent.
Dab?
I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Dab on him.
Dab on my mother. Love you, Mom. Just had to throw that story in there because it's fun.
Did she ever lift that Dan?
But I never
take his advice.
No, but like I can watch whatever I want now, but like I don't care.
Then like watch SpongeBob. What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What? Might have to bring SpongeBob next podcast because you'll know I'll be to fucking educate you.
Okay.
Like we gotta show him pictures of SpongeBob characters and be like, "Who's this?"
I know who the characters are mostly.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's probably
Who's Patrick,
the fucking starfish.
That's some normie. That's some normie ass.
No, like I'll probably miss some of the episode of the week characters, but I know like his like driving team and shit.
All right.
And like the weird like
who's this man? You'll edit this onto the screen so they know who I'm talking about.
Stop doing that! I'm actively not. He put up Squidward. I'm not putting this on.
False!
Not Squidward!
Oh, it's his brother, right? It's his brother, right?
Nope.
Or like what? I don't give a fuck. Never mind. As I said,
I don't even remember his name.
I'll miss some like episode of the week characters. Why are we talking about SpongeBob? Kim Possible's better. Fuck you.
Hey, just another squid.
So
Squilliam something?
It is Squilliam. It's
That's a great name.
It's Squilliam Francis. Yes.
Francis?
Hang on. Okay, so no. Yeah, like Kim Possible's so fun. And like the humor is so good. Like their teacher, like their main teacher, Mr. Barkin, who's played by the incomparable Patrick Warburton. He's always super funny in every episode he's in. Like for example, this last episode I watched in season 4, which admittedly wasn't the best episode, but he was funny in it. Where basically Ron gets a job at Smarty Mart, which is basically just like Walmart / Kmart. And he finds out that his teacher is also working there, but he outranks him. And so basically, they get caught in like a shipping container that's going overseas. And Barkin is slowly getting like ridiculous cabin fever because he's like a veteran. And he's like wearing a ridiculous clothes and like talking into a logging into a rubber chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick Warburton like slowly going insane is less like really entertaining while Ron's like hiding in the corner. It's so good. I love this goddamn show. I could talk about it more, but I won't because we'd be here for and we've already gone on for too long. But watch Kim Possible, it's amazing. It's so good.
All right. I might might rewatch some episodes. I'm like remembering a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's cooler than fantasy.
Yeah, I can go and give you some episode recommendations later if you want. And one more before we go. One thing that's weird about it is that Kim Possible's the episodes are actually not chronological. Because of the way they were aired out of order.
Oh.
Because apparently a lot of Disney shows did that. So I'm thinking I might end up going back and rewatching them in chronological order. Because it's really weird how sometimes like things will be episodes before they act like
have actually
and
happened.
Then like yeah, it's like something will just be in an episode and then like later on you'll like see an episode that introduces that thing that already showed.
That happened a lot in cartoons around that era. It was
I think particularly Disney cartoons that happened a lot.
Yeah.
That happened a lot with. But you know, that's just one thing to note out for. This can be a little aggravating. But that's basically it for Kim Possible. And I think that'll be it for this episode of the Geeks by Gaslight Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Special thanks to our producers, Jré Best, Ronny Diaz, and Scott Heemstra now, according to this episode, for helping make this show possible. Thank you to Guthrie Schooner, who's our lead editor, but he's off this month getting jaw surgery because his hot takes burned his mouth too badly.
Wish him well.
Wish you well. Get well soon, Guthrie. Thanks to Jack Wertimer for helping us design the thumbnail. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord. The link will be down in the description below. And be sure to keep it locked right here for brand new episodes of the Geeks by Gaslight podcast every single goddamn month. But until then, take it easy, nerds.